Someone tell me why I do the things that I don't want to do. Through the hard times around me, I'm somebody else. Someone tell me why I act like a fool when things don't go my way. When you're around me, somebody else. There is the reason I guess I didn't once stop you fall. When you bring out the hide, 'cause it makes you wanna cry. Are you still being followed by the teenage FBI? Someone tell me why. Someone tell me why. Someone tell me why. That I don't wanna do. No, somebody else.
What up? Let's do it. I tried to go the teenage route and it didn't work out so well. All right. Let's take a look at the souls. It was not terrible yesterday. It did snow here last night, which I was not expecting to wake up to snow this morning. Still actively snowing. Woo! You know, it's about maybe an inch and a half, enough to freak out. Check out this spider here. This guy's been living here for a while. That one's the dead one. There's another one that lives like in the thing. I don't know where he is right now. That worries me. It looks like he molted recently. All right, let's take a look at the solds. Come on, why does my share not work? Did I lose a window? No. All right, let's try this again. Oh, all my windows are minimized. I see. There we go. Okie doke. State Capitol Building, Phoenix, Arizona, 266. Linen era. No big deal. This card has been in the store so long that I called it a real photo postcard, and it is clearly not a real photo postcard. You can see the printing dots there. Hopefully the customer doesn't get mad at me. If they are, I'll probably just refund them and be like, I listed this when I didn't know shit. $7.95. I think I have the market cornered on Singer Building New York City postcards at the moment. In fact, let's take a quick look. This one sold for $5. We're going to take a quick look here. Let's see how many are on eBay. $674 on eBay. You guys, every time you see an Eternal Loot thing, go click on their thing, but don't buy anything. Ha 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 ha. Cost them 50 cents. All right. Singer Building, New York. Let's see how many of the 800 listed are mine. Only 7. That's surprising. I've sold quite a few. So I don't have it cornered. I have 1% of the market. Hutchinson High School, Buffalo, New York. $2.95. This sold right after the other New York postcard. There was a lot of that going on yesterday. Here we have Friendly Beggars. There's some donkeys, very on brand for the channel. Custer State Park, South Dakota, with some cool old cars. Look at them. Look at those donkeys holding up traffic. Fucking jackasses. 1964, 626. Old Soldiers Home, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Undivided back, sold for $3 or $2.95. Fitch Mountains and Russian River at Healdsburg, California. Healdsburg is I'm going to call it a bolo. It's one of those California towns that always seems to sell. $6.95. The next two, same customer. This is the Sullivan House in Durham, New Hampshire, the rear of the home with the slave quarters. Wonder where the slave quarters were. $5.95. And the Sullivan House again sold for $4.95. Both in New Hampshire, same customer. But then minutes later, this New Hampshire card sold, which is odd again. Old Man in the Mountains, $2.66. Linen postcard, different customer. Rivington Street View in the Ghetto sold for $6.95. Divided back. Chicago, Illinois. All right, this is the Tonga Room. It's a tiki bar in the San Francisco Fairmont Hotel. I have been in this bar. It is one of my two favorite tiki bars I've ever been to. This one is number 1. Actually, it's a tie. I can't really say I have a single favorite. Number 2 is the tiki bar at the Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim, California. Specifically at the Disneyland Hotel. It's right next to the pool, and it is awesome. Like when you order certain drinks, parts of the bar come to life. If you haven't been there or you have the ability to go there, just worth going to get one drink at either of these two bars. You want to drink out of a pineapple, like a whole fucking pineapple, go to this bar. I want to go back now. Mount Cranmore Ski Mobile Upper Unit in North Conway, New Hampshire. Again, New Hampshire, different customer, $1.95. Here we have the Bureau Creek Bridge in Princeton, Illinois, $4.95. Here we have just a good old Alaskan doggo, $3.95 divided back. But then this card sold minutes after to a different customer, a different doggo. Dog looking at a spot on the floor saying, he's going to blame me for this because the umbrella got wet and then drained onto the floor. And the dog's like, I think they're going to think this is pee and I'm going to get blamed. And then they're going to beat me with a stick. Bamforth and Company, not much more to say about it. Same customer, though, also bought this doggo. The exact same card, different publisher, slightly different whatever. Almost like it's taken from a photograph, this one, $4.46. This is actually a real photo postcard. The SS Yukon, which was part of the Mosquito fleet going to Alaska, sold for that amount, $18.95. Not even scanned. Been in the store 3+ years. Before I even had a scanner, I listed this. That's craziness. Just listed yesterday, sold yesterday, a triangle of blossoms in a garden in Nantucket. I once met a man from Nantucket. That's really all I have to say about that. Then we have a scene on the Fox River in Appleton, Wisconsin, $3.75, free shipping. That experiment's going well. I think that I'm going to continue to have a section of free shipping postcards where I move out low dollar aged postcards and put them in the free shipping category. My philosophy or my theory on this is that, if you're selling a $2 postcard and then you tack on shipping on top of a $2 or $3 postcard, like there's less of an impact than even like a $5 or $6 postcard that shipping cost has. So, more of an impact, I should say, than the higher dollar card. Here we have Snoqualmie Falls in North Bend, Washington. Very unusual to find an undivided back postcard of this subject from that's this old. There wasn't a lot of tourism to Snoqualmie Falls at this time. It was still relatively remote. So that's kind of a cool one. It's $4.46 just because it's a really common subject. Washington Avenue, El Dorado, Arkansas. I believe that is a Confederate monument, but I'm not sure. $2.95. Courthouse building in Charlestown, West Virginia, sold for $3.95. Came from Big Buy. Again, been in the store for a while. $7.95. The Carnegie Library in San Jose, California. Unnecessary zoom in with odd color adjustment. $7.95. Can you believe it? Here we got the Lincoln Highway. That's one of the Popeye BOLOS, I think. Entering Fremont, Nebraska. I wonder which way it is. It does have some, visible oil, Conoco oil station, and some other things. Sold for $4.95. Probably could have gotten more. It's a little beat up. Last but not least, post office building in Rochester, Minnesota, sold for $2.95. Art View. There we have it. So Cameron, Carl, Joe, see the lights. I have God. Why do I always forget your name? I have it written down here. Bob. How do I forget Bob? Bob. That's the easiest name to remember. It's the same thing that you call somebody with no arms and no legs in a pool. What about Bob? One of the best Bill Murray movies. Definitely top 5. All right, let's get these postcards out of here. It's mostly postcards, actually. Taxes are moving along. I am pretty much done now with 2020, 2021, and I'd say about a third done with 2022. It seems very possible at the end of this, I'm going to be getting money back, which is awesome. Yeah, I know. Matt. Uh-oh, getting label errors. Uh-oh, my labels are out. Just have to reprint those. The things that helped with my taxes is in 2020 I spent a shitload of money. I also was on unemployment. I was more or less trying to run the business at break even or a loss since I had income coming in. And I grew my inventory that year from about 60K value to around 250 value. Just because I was never left the home and listed, and bought. 2021 rolls around. Didn't spend as much, but my store did not grow in terms of inventory listed. It actually decreased. So my end of year inventory value was actually less than it was at the beginning of the year. That was also when I pivoted from video games to postcards, which had a lot to do with it as well. Which, from a long-term standpoint, was good. So, my taxable income was actually quite a bit decreased the next year. So, but because I paid so much tax and I had so much written off, I had a lot of my return roll over to the next year, and it fully covered 2021 so far. Assuming that I still am waiting for my 1099 from PayPal, but just looking overall at my total sales through PayPal that year on my 1099, I think I'll be okay. If I don't get my 1099 from them soon, I think I'm just going to run and just report the revenue as revenue and move forward from there because I have all the transaction history. Let's see here what Eldorado works. But I've got everything like fully documented. I've got all of my mileage documented. If anything, like all my donations, I have photos of a lot of my donations, which is just good to have for extra backup, just in case. But it is time consuming. Sup, shenanigans. All right, we're going to try this again. Oh, I need to go grab the postcards out of the other room. Be right back. Been a lot of postcard selling. Honestly, not a lot of other stuff. This is one of those, definitely some benefit to having a large amount of a certain kind of item in a particular category. Nobody tell 1 Foot Flipper. I am sort of jonesing to get back into listing, though. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. it's interesting uh, how much positive feedback I get for my shipping method. It makes me think that there are postcard sellers out there who just are so shitty. And I'm definitely not directing that towards anybody here, but clearly there must be shitty sellers out there who are just like putting it in a paper envelope and sending it off. No protection whatsoever. I'm not trying to say that like mine is the best way or anybody should be doing my way. In fact, I'd prefer it if nobody else does it my way because I'll keep getting the good feedback. Yay, adulting. Exactly. Speaking of feedback, I got a neutral feedback yesterday, which I immediately requested the customer to revise, and they did. Basically, they left a neutral feedback saying, I can't leave positive feedback because this was bought for somebody else and sent to their address. So I don't know what happened. So I sent him a request and I asked him to revise it. I'm like, neutral feedback, although not as bad as negative feedback, is not positive feedback. If nothing went wrong with the transaction, please revise it. If you don't want to leave, if you can't leave, if you want to leave no feedback because you weren't involved, just don't leave feedback. Like, don't leave neutral feedback just because you don't know. And yeah, they revised it almost right away. Sent a very polite message, just explaining to them, like, I take feedback very seriously, blah 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 blah, etc., so on and so forth. I will be right back. I need to grab some more stiffener cards. this name. I don't know why. I actually got a feedback as well from a customer on I shipped out a piece of ephemera in one of the cut up record covers, and they're like, this is the best packaging I've ever seen for ephemera. He's like, this is made to protect something way more than what I ordered. And it is absolutely something like, it was absolutely perfect, blah, blah, blah. If you're really interested in exactly what he said, you can go to my feedback. That is a shipping method that I hope you use if you also accumulate things like record covers as I do. All right, last postcard. Done. All right. Pretty easy shipping day otherwise. First up, sold a pinback button. Actually sold this morning. It is it says, I did it. And it sold for $6.44. Don't think it's going to fit in one of these. Maybe it will. Nope, not worth fighting. So I recently went through and added best offer to a bunch of stuff that's, was listed in the early parts of last year, blah, blah, blah. I swear to God, the second you do that, it's like low ballers just come out of the woodwork. I did get to block and report somebody this morning. I don't know about you guys. I do enjoy that when somebody is like, they send you an offer and then they counter offer and then they just send you the same offer again. That is wasting your time. You've already said no, basically, no, I am not going to be taking this amount of money for this thing that you're asking about. Doing it again is not a good negotiation technique. sold 10 basically vinyl scrap lot. You guys know all about these. Not big money. Uh-oh. Your bubble. But just a way to monetize the waste a little bit. One of the things that, speaking of which, also helped my tax return 2020 and 2021 is the completely ridiculous number of records that I donated. Like I'm using the low its deductible estimates, like even below that, donated like more than probably $30,000 to $40,000 worth of records, and these are all just like estimating at $3 a piece, which is the thrift store value. It's actually below the thrift store value. I mean, really only like a third or less of customers leave feedback. Period. I am terrible about leaving feedback on my purchases. Yeah, if customers ever request stuff like that, I basically tell them I charge for special handling requests. But I also, if you look at my feedback, I take pride in how I ship it. But if you want it shipped in a specific way, I'm going to cancel the order and I can add a handling charge and then you can repurchase. Let me know how you want to proceed. And then they basically from there say either cancel it or proceed. And 99% of the time it's proceed. I give them the option, but I don't do special requests for nothing. Oh yeah, that's a fun one too. I know how he wakes up this time. I've been up since 4 a.m. 4:30 actually. That's pretty normal. Wake up without an alarm even. Am I using? I'm actually using Free Tax USA, which is I've used TurboTax before, but Free Tax USA is free, just as easy as TurboTax. You can buy the same audit protection as TurboTax has for way less money. So yeah, that's what I've been using, and I'm really happy with it. It also rolls over your tax information as well. Also, because I'm doing past year's taxes, if I wanted to use TurboTax for that, it cost me like over $100 a year just to get the software. So I am fine using the free service and not paying $100+ per year. Also, like even if with like QuickBooks integrating, it would still take me as long as it's taking me to go through and go through all the transactions and be like, this is business, this is business, this is personal, this is business, this is. It's just as easy for me to go through a spreadsheet and delete rows, which is basically what I'm doing. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna finish my 2020 probably tomorrow. My 2022 tomorrow. Then I'm gonna start on 2023. I'm gonna take a break and do some listing, and then because it's been like 10 solid days of taxes, and my brain is starting to fight back. Sold a lot of various National Geographic maps, 23 of them. Took an offer for $18. Took me probably about 2 years to accumulate. Basically, when I get it from if there's a National Geographic maps or if I see them at yard sales, usually I can get them free. They go in a box of other National Geographic maps. When I have enough, I list them, and these ones sold for the amount that I just told you. What are these? That's a stiffener. All right, sold a record. So I was, as I've been going through my taxes, like seeing how much I paid for things like record shippers over the last couple of, like 21, 22, before I started doing this method. Like $119 shipped for 100 shippers. This is about half that. And even though that, I mean, that was at the peak. I mean, now that the price has gone down, like this has been definitely one of the more valuable tools in reducing my costs, I think. Because it definitely adds up. You know, I probably ship out 200 or 300 records a year, and when, you know, if I find collections to buy, that number like can jump up to like 500 or 600 or more. I think in 2020, probably in 2021, I probably shipped over 1,000 records, if I were to take a guess, because that was right after I had bought a really big collection. And I actually bought like 3 big collections in 2020. And a humongous one in 2019. 2 humongous ones in 2019. No, more than that even. 3 huge ones, because I also bought the classical music collection. It was a lot. All right, sold this. It's a table topper / placemat / stationery from the Silverbird Hotel Casino in Las Vegas from the 1970s. I got a few of these from a friend of mine. This is the second of 3 to sell, and it sold for $8. Nope. I'll make that work. Make it easier if I put in the board first. Yeah. Yeah, also like early stuff I spent money on that probably didn't need to. like tons of stickers, but you know, like they say, you pay for your education. Pass around like this. Good. Do it that way. Oh no, I'm way behind. I'm filing. Hopefully by on Monday, I'm sending in 3 years of filings. Don't do what Donnie Don't does. I'll be filing my 2023 taxes in a couple of weeks. So now that I've got my now the thing that I did not have was really a good system, and that's because I really hadn't wrapped my brain around my accounting yet. And lucky for me, the tax man had not come knocking yet, and I figured it's best to get them done before they do. All right, the last thing I sold is this ThermoServe pitcher. No idea where I got it. Probably at a yard sale. Sold for $10. Can't imagine I paid even anywhere close to that to get it. We got an easy. Not really. Unless this. Nope. All right, we're gonna. But I have all the data and I did everything. Like I saved everything. I have the data. Like I even feel pretty damn confident if an audit were to happen. was not good. All right, try it again. And just like, oh, I got to check the other store real quick. If there's nothing there, we're done. So when I was in California, my ex was going through her records. I mentioned this previously. And I was going through her records, and I'm like, hey, you should probably look this up. I'm pretty sure this is worth some money, some pretty good money. And sure enough, I was right. Sold in 3 days for full asking price. It was immaculate condition. She did not follow my instructions on how to take pictures of the record, though. But I did everything else. This is my thing. I basically copied my own stuff from my own listings to make this for her. And then I'm like, just take pictures. Here's what you do. Straight on, front and back. I mean, it's fine. And then take one picture of the inner, front and back of the record, front and back of the label. Not exactly how I would do it, but it worked. It sold very quickly. Yeah, it would have been nice if it was my record. But I'm very happy to help as well. So I did get to stay there for free, so earned my keep. All right, everybody, that is it for me today. I'm gonna go hit the tax books. We'll be back tomorrow, assuming something sells. Guess what? Something usually does. Hope you all have a great day. Hope sales are better. And we will catch you all on the Flip and Flap. Peace out. Bye.